What's up?
Hello.
Hi, we're the internet.
Who's this?
Guess
he
who's
real?
back? I'm
Back again.
Don't do that.
I'm a sad boy.
I'm a poor man.
I'm your Lord and Savior.
Cool. We're here to talk about a movie. An old movie.
The Spookening.
The Conjuring.
Which one are we doing first?
The Conjuring is directed by James Wan and stars Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga as Ed and Lorraine Warren, and it tells the tale of their investigation into the haunting of the Perron family in Rhode Island
In
in
1971.
1971.
Or 72. I'm not sure which.
1971.
He's 71. He's
Okay,
right.
he's right.
71. And it was pretty revolutionary for its time.
It was
in 2013.
It was a breath
absolutely.
It was a breath of fresh air into the haunted house genre.
In the age of
Shit.
regurgitated shit such as Paranormal Activity, The
Ouija.
Conjuring was a...
Ouija was later.
I know.
I don't know. I don't even remember which one you just said it, but The Conjuring was absolutely a very refreshing breath of fresh air.
Refreshing
breath of fresh air. Refreshing.
Say
breath.
that. Yeah.
That's
It was
that's
a refreshing Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
The Conjuring was very, in a way, revolutionary because it revived a genre that was pretty much dead at the time. There were things like Insidious, but
That's not a true haunted house.
Insidious
movie,
also
Oh,
wasn't
no.
super well known until it became a franchise.
Yeah, I would say so.
No, it was definitely famous off the bat.
It was.
It,
no, it
was,
had an
but
initial.
it was more cult
It
status
had
at
that
point.
initial like,
I
hey, go
suppose.
see that Insidious movie, but in the horror community, like with like horror fans, it blew up.
And The Conjuring was something where I think everybody knew. Everybody knew about it.
That penetrated the horror community and the mainstream at the same time. That was
Conjuring
like
you're
yes,
talking
that
about?
was a
Yes.
unanimous. That was a unanimous. Go see this movie. It's a classic in the making.
It's a,
Well, I
it's
guess
a
at
good
that
date
point also
movie.
Juan had already kind of
he
established
developed himself. Yeah.
That's true. No, he has by that point he had Saw, he had Dead Silence, he had Insidious, he had a ton of movies.
I think Insidious was really the one where like he really got a name for himself.
No, Saw was.
Mainstream?
Yeah, Saw is dude.
So it's really mainstream, but I'm saying like now after Insidious, literally no matter what he makes, everyone's gonna check out.
Yeah, no, but I think what
Except for
Lee's
Fast
saying
Seven.
is
Fast
I think
Seven.
Insidious solidified it. Like, all right, but I think
But
Saw was the one that was like, hey, whoa, look at this
Saw
James
was
Wan
the
guy.
Saw was the time when everyone looked at him and Lee Winnell and were like, oh my god, look at this movie they made on low budget. It's fucking great. We're not talking about Saw right now. We're talking.
Yeah,
about
we're getting
Conjuring.
sidetracked. Come on, guys.
When you have just remakes and like reboots and shitty
General garbage.
shitty just movies in general, because again roughly from 2000 to 2010 I feel
Oh, the regurgitation of fucking
the horror
everything.
genre was not in a good time.
Are you telling me you didn't like A Haunting in Connecticut?
Let's be
Never
real.
actually seen it.
Let's be real. It's still not really in a good time, but it's,
getting-
better than
no,
it was.
it's getting a lot better.
It's getting a lot better,
A lot
thanks
better.
to movies like The Conjuring.
Yeah, movies that dare to be not just a horror movie, but also have another plot going on throughout them that makes you actually invested in the fucking characters.
Yeah, The Conjuring was a rare thing when it came out in 2013.
Even the
because,
most,
again,
even the most minor character in this movie, The Conjuring, I think you are attached to.
Okay, let's be real.
There are
My
no
favorite
throwaway.
character is a minor character.
Exactly. There are no.
Officer Brad!
Man. But what I'm saying is, there's no throwaway characters in this movie.
Oh yeah, no.
now, a lot of kids are throwaway characters.
Oh well, the kids,
I like
but
the
I don't
kids.
consider kids actual
I thought the
characters.
kids were phenomenal.
Kids aren't real people. They're not people until they turn 18.
Anyway, it was very refreshing to see a film that was not based around gore or shitty jump scares or
Oh my god, jump scares. Yes.
anything like that. See our
Well-
problems with modern horror video for more clarification.
It had jump scares. It's not saying
It
it was
had
actual,
no false
but
jump
they
scares.
were used. They were
Effectively.
executed.
They were honest
Perfectly.
to God true scares that James Wan knows how to do very well.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they didn't eliminate the tension in the scene.
The
They
dude-
didn't piss you off.
The dude knows how to make a horror film. He does it really fucking well. Though there are certain shots in The Conjuring,
Ooh.
specifically the
The
camera,
loop,
camera
the
movement.
upside down.
Exactly.
There are certain shots where it will just go down, like
Oh, there's-
flip up. The camera will flip upside
I like
down.
to call this might already be called that for I'm not a fucking film expert or director or anything, but I like it. Like, it reminds me of a roller coaster almost. Like the initial when they're moving into the house, when it's doing all those like under the movers holding
That's
the couch.
a one take.
I
That
know,
whole
but
scene
it's
is
so
a one
fucking
take.
cool. Like they're
And
going like all over like but it's
It's
nothing
just-
like sudden or anything. It's like
As far as
flows.
horror goes, it's a cinematic masterpiece from a cinematography
I
standpoint.
wouldn't
How
go
the fuck
that
would
far.
phrase that?
I would not go that far because there are better masterpieces of horror that have come out since then that are much better, I
Really?
feel. That aside, the Conjuring cinematography is great. It's really excellent. The way that the camera moves, it really keeps you on edge. There's tons of Dutch angles. There's tons of like I was saying, there might be more than one, but I know there's definitely a scene that's just a one take of just following them through the house, and it keeps.
Yeah, it's the moving in scene.
Yeah, the moving in scene was it's all one shot, and it's excellent. It's so cool.
And it interacts with its surroundings. Like I was saying, the movers are moving the couch. It goes like under the couch. It like goes up to the father, pulls like a sharp left, and like follows around.
It's a brilliant shot.
It's really, really cool, and I love movies that do that because it's a really interesting way to get your audience immersed.
Also very difficult to do.
Very difficult to do.
I don't know if this goes along with the cinematography aspect, but oh my god, I love the opening credits. I love the fade to black and white title card rolling up.
That's
I just
pretty cool.
love
No,
it.
it's
the
And then
old
the
school horror feel.
the Conjuring logo coming up with like
It's a
shit.
really cool throwback.
Oh, that's why I love it. It's got a very retro
And
feel to it.
That's something that I really love about the movie overall. It's a very nice throwback to like haunted house movies of like old days, like House on Haunted Hill,
And the attention,
shit like that.
I'm a sucker for this stuff too. You know how stickler I am with details, especially concerning time periods and stuff. Everything is like executed perfectly, like capturing. Obviously, I wasn't alive in 1971, but where was I? But the attention to the setting being in 1971 is so perfectly captured.
There's
from the cars to the
dialogue,
to the wardrobe, to the dialogue.
Some of the dialogue is painfully. We're in the
but
70s.
it's, but it's still 70s dialogue.
The groovy moment was unnecessary. I'll meet him with that. But the dialogue, the clothing, the cars, even the music posters on the wall,
even the music
the
in the
Who
film.
live at
Well,
Leeds,
I mean, the
everything
one
is-
song was from like the 2000s.
But the thing I'm okay with that's Dead Man's Bones. That's Ryan Gosling's band or something like that.
Weird.
But it sounds 70s-ish. I'd never heard it before the movie, and without knowing that fact,
You would absolutely think
that
it's from the
organ
70s.
and everything, that sounds like it's straight out of a Billboard Hits 1972 chart.
I would honestly call it one of the more frightening films that came out of the
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
past decade. I'd say.
Absolutely.
Oh, dude, I left that movie scared shitless.
I don't know if I'd call it the most because there's a lot of things.
definitely
to
not the most.
But no,
it's up there.
it's very effective. And
Yes.
like I said, Juan knows how to build tension super well between sound design and cinematography.
He also
and
knows how to relieve it well.
he also knows how to be subtle, which is important, and nobody knows how to do it
Yeah,
anymore.
like-
It's not perfect, I don't think. Like I said,
I agree.
like you were saying, some of the dialogue is a
Yeah, it's a
little
little
weird.
forced.
I think
Oh,
the cinematography's a masterpiece, but there are parts of it like the dialogue.
A little bit.
groovy.
I'm personally not a huge fan of the ending and how everything gets wrapped up in a nice little bow.
Oh,
with,
agreed. Actually,
oh,
that's my
good
main
triumphs
gripe.
over evil. Use your happy memories to beat the evil. Whatever.
Yeah, that was a
it
little
is what it is. It's
Yeah.
It's a story that's based on a truth.
I want to say, I could be wrong about this, but I want to say, remember when they first move into the house and the oldest daughter is like, oh, gee, like she's all like sarcastic and everything? I think the mom says something like she'll forget about New Jersey soon enough or something, implying they're from Jersey.
Oh, I don't know.
My only comment
Fact
is if
check
that's...
him.
Yeah, please
Someone
do.
fact check him.
I'm pretty sure, like, I'd rank it like a 90, but the 10% is there. But if that is true, they are from Jersey, if I'm right. No fucking beach in New Jersey looks that pristine, clean, white sand, blue
Maybe in
water.
the 70s, before everything went to shit.
Long walk for a short drink of water.
Yeah, really.
Anyway,
I don't even know where we were.
as I was saying about negatives, probably my biggest issue with this is that I don't feel that it brings anything necessarily new to the genre.
Oh, no, that's... Yeah, it's...
And that's fine. I don't think it was trying to, but I would have liked to see a bit more.
I don't necessarily think you have to bring anything new to the
You
genre.
don't, but I feel
especially
like
for a film like this, which really, again, as we've already said multiple times, it really was just a breath of fresh air into a dying genre.
it is, but
But
I feel
a haunted house movie done the way a haunted house movie is supposed to be done, not the way that AAA Hollywood has been trying to force it to be
right,
done.
right. I just also feel that if you're going to be,
It was a return to form. That's
and it is, and I completely agree
And
with
we've
you
drifted so far away from the form in this sea of shit that it was nice to tie up to a nice boat that just brought us right back to port.
Oh, you're not wrong. Neither of you are wrong. I completely agree with everything you just said. I'm just saying that, like, because it doesn't bring anything new, it runs the risk of being looked at as generic.
I would agree with you if it wasn't done well. But it was.
It is done well.
That's what I'm saying.
Of course
Like, it
it's
was
done
done so well that I don't think it has to worry about.
But I'm
that
saying if
risk.
you take somebody who has watched haunted house movies and that kind of horror all their lives, and you throw them into, then you just introduce them to Conjuring, they're gonna go, oh, okay, I've seen this before.
I mean, all three of us are that way too, though. Like we've all.
Yes, but we are also from a different generation.
I suppose.
The Conjuring could have done, I think, a little more, just put a little bit of a spin on it to make it a little more unique. But again, also when you're running under the guise of true story.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think the true story.
You kind of have to like, you know, work with what you have. So yeah, overall, we're just gonna get into ratings.
All right.
Let's start with you, Lee.
Me? I'm gonna say The Conjuring. It's like I said, it's an effective horror film. James Wan's a fantastic director. Great cinematography, great sound design. It's really just a pretty film, and it's pretty effective in terms of scares. I'm gonna say an A-.
I'm gonna say A.
An A?
It was just that refreshing for me.
I'm gonna say A- as well for all of the reasons that Lee stated.
Yeah.
It was just a very good movie. A cinematographic. How the fuck would you use that as a noun?
Cinematographical.
Yeah, that. Masterpiece in that regard.
You heard it here first, kids.
And just like overall, other than my gripe that I share with Lee with the ending and like a few minor flaws, it's a perfect movie.
It's very solid. So
A-.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen it, it's only been out like 3 years. Check it out.
Yeah, and you're only like one of
pretty
70 subscribers of ours. So
It's pretty cool.
How the fuck haven't you seen it
If
yet?
you've got
I
a
haven't eaten in 3 days.
if you've got a nice lady friend, you take her to see it.
Yeah, it is actually a
Check it out.
very
It's
good
a date movie, maybe. If she likes horror or she doesn't like horror or whatever. I don't know, man. I don't know who you are. I don't know your lady friend. Check it out.
Wait, it doesn't have to be a lady friend.
Maybe your guy friend.
Maybe your guy friend.
Take your guy friend who
Bring
doesn't
your
like horror.
vegan friend. Get a dinner. Get whatever vegan people eat. Maybe it's a real film.
We'll be back in 5 minutes reviewing The Conjuring 2.